The views of the guest are that of the guests and do not represent nor reflect the views and opinions of the Lockoutmen channel, the Recruiter Call channel, nor its host. This site content is for entertainment, educational, and informational purposes only.
Alright, y'all, let me ask you guys a question and see if this matters to you. Did you know that if you can't read, you can't write, and you can't speak the language that we call
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
You could be facing a $5,000 fine at the scales. Now, for those that don't understand what I'm saying, you might want to Google Translate it, because you're the ones that they're looking for. They're looking for you now. They're cutting down. They're cutting back. They're coming after you. That's not even the worst part that they're doing to you, drivers. When you get into the weigh stations and they see that you can't speak the language or read the language,
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
they're going to take your CDL, they're going to hold on to it, and then they might put you in handcuffs. On the spot, CDL revoked. The companies that you're driving for slapped with a $10,000 fine. I just came across this post on Facebook, and you guys let me know if this is true or not, because I don't know. It seems to be true. It could be rage bait. It could be just trolling, but if it isn't, is this a good thing? Take a ride with me.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for listening. Lockoutmen here. And today, we're talking about this post that I came across on Facebook, where I get many of my topics from. Someone said that they rode across the way and they went in for an inspection of their truck at the weigh station. They noticed that a few foreigners in there that can't read, that can't write, and that can't speak the language
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
are being hemmed up at these weigh stations. They're getting their license revoked simply because they're not supposed to have it if you can't do the criteria, which is read, write, and speak the language. They're getting stopped and straight up tested on their ability that they can read, write, and speak the language, which is,
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
by the way, some drivers walked away while others was sitting there in handcuffs. Handcuffs. Like, where they gonna go? They can't go nowhere. You took their CDL. They gotta sit there in handcuffs? Is this enforcement fair? Is it right? Is it another way to cut people out of the industry? Let's talk about it.
Hold on.
So this driver shared his experience of rolling through a weigh station, and out of nowhere they asked him if he could read, write, and speak the language in English. Not only that, but they made him prove it by answering questions on a piece of paper. Of course he passed and was good to go. But while he was there, things took a turn for some foreigners that was drivers. Those guys wasn't as lucky. He kind of claims, allegedly, because we don't know if this is true or not. I tried to find some background on this, but this is the only place where I was only able to find this driver's assessment. So is this statewide, or is this in a certain states that they're doing this? Let me know in the comments below. But as he claims, he says that these foreigners were sitting there in the office with handcuffs and their CDLs rejected and their companies looking at a massive fines. Now, according to this post, the fines are serious. $5,000 for the driver if you can't speak, read.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
$5,000 if you can't speak English. $10,000 if you can't read or write it. Plus your CDL revoked. That's wild. The law does say you do need to understand English to really drive one of these trucks out here. But is this enforcement too much? Are drivers being targeted unfair? Are they?
All the people that can't read or write in English, y'all better start dodging them scales. Just went through a scale house and was asked if I could read and write in English, and had to prove it by writing down a couple answers to questions, even though I was born in Illinois. They let me go on my merry way, but there was a few foreigners that were handcuffed and sitting in the office.
Look, let me just pause this right here. All right, I gotta check and see if my fuel is done. But let me just pause this right here. So you're telling me we got drivers working their tail off, trying to make a living, but because they struggle with
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
they're getting handcuffed. I'm just saying. Because if you really can't read or write or speak
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
then you really shouldn't be driving this 18-wheel truck. I'm just saying. I get it. There are rules. FMCSA says truckers need to understand
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
for safety reasons. But right here, I guess you could say this is a little bit extreme, I guess. But let's be real, communications is the key in trucking. If you can't read the road signs, if you don't understand the dispatch information, or can't talk to the DOT officers, then that's a safety concern. But on the flip side of this, what makes me kind of wonder is, are they stopping all drivers like this, or are they specifically targeting the foreigners? Because I've seen plenty of drivers, born and raised in the US of A, who struggle with reading, writing, and yet nobody's checking them at the scales. So what's really going on?
It is a requirement by law that you have to speak and be able to read and write in English. $5,000 fine if you can't speak it. $10,000 fine for you and the company if you can't read or write in English and your CDL is taken and you are arrested.
So here's my take on this whole English thing with foreigners. I get it. A lot of them that comes across the way, they get special privilege. They will automatically get their CDLs from the company that they're driving for. They will be the ones to hook them up with their CDLs. Hey, don't worry about it. All we need you to do is just to drive the truck. That's about all we need you to do. And if you can do that, that's it. Don't worry about it. If you get pulled over by the DOT, just give them the Google Translate and everything will just be fine. But is it though? Because I came across a lot of foreigners that be in these shippers and receivers that can't even speak a lick of
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
I had to help out sometimes. Hey, bro, you good? You good? You okay? I no English. Oh, okay. They need help speaking with the shippers and receivers. They need help understanding what the shippers and receivers are telling them. Okay? But you gotta understand,
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
it's part of the job. And it makes sense why it is a requirement. It is part of the job. But now it is being enforced. Do you guys feel that it's being enforced is the way? I kind of agree. Listen, in any continent, in any country that you go for a job, now if that job don't require that language to be a requirement, then I get it, because there's a lot of Americans that's living in Tokyo, Japan, that don't even speak the language, but they do have jobs over there of people that does speak English as a second language, which in turn, you should go ahead and learn the language. If I'm going to get a job in Tokyo, Japan, I think I'm going to go ahead and turn around and be like, yes, I'm going to learn the language. That's what I'm going to do. I'm over here. I'm part of the system. I'm going to learn the language. So if you over here in the good old US of A, driving big rigs, driving trucks, I feel you should learn the language.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Should it be enforced? I feel that it do. But it does get tricky. Does it help drivers improve? I should hope so. Should these drivers lose their license though? Should they be given an opportunity to make a change to get their license back? Now, I know a lot of you guys are saying all of this in the thing of safety. I get it. I understand it. I want to be safe too. You driving down the road and you coming up to a construction zone where The construction zone gives you ample information on what you need to do when you go into it. If you don't freaking understand that information, anything could possibly go wrong. Seriously. It only change in a matter of seconds. Seconds. That's all it takes out here. Seconds. A matter of seconds. But let me ask you this though. I know FMCSA is making this a requirement. I'm not sure if this is in all states, but is it really for FMCSA to keep boggling down on drivers? Or is it a way to help the drivers that can't speak the lick of word of
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Does it help them to improve on it? That's the question. That's the question. Let's not forget, trucking needs drivers. Unfortunately, a lot of you guys, y'all interested, but y'all not interested. Do y'all want to go out here and be over the road for months at a time? No. These foreigners does though. They don't mind. They far away from home anyway. This is probably their second home. They live in the truck, so it really doesn't matter. And that's what these companies are looking for. They looking for drivers like that. Hey, bro, how long can you stay out? Well, I need to be home every week. How long can you stay out? Oh, well, I can do about 2, maybe 3 weeks. Oh, okay, you okay, we stepping up. How long can you stay out? Translation, I can stay out for as long as you want. Oh, you in, bro. What do you need? What do you need? A visa? You need to marry to stay over here because we need you, bruh. The rest of these guys, yeah, it might be a problem, but we need you, right? According to most, there's a driver shortage. So with this particular area, this particular state is cutting down on drivers that can't read, write, or speak the language.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Is that putting them more dip into the shortage that they claim that's out here? I don't think so, but hey, it is what it is. Now listen, if these companies out here, which is particularly black ops, let's be honest, a lot of black op companies out here is hiring these foreign drivers that can damn near warn lights the freak out. They're hiring the drivers who struggle with
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Maybe the solution isn't a fine and handcuffs. Maybe it's just better training and resources. But I don't know, that some of these companies can only react to fines and handcuffs. You keep hitting them pockets hard enough, then they will change. Training and resources can only go so far. But when you keep hitting that company by the pockets, hitting them pockets, then yeah, somebody in the higher up is gonna be like, maybe we need to change up. But I don't know, drivers, what do you guys think? Let me know, is this enforcement is fair? I know a lot of you guys are gonna say yes, so, but just let me know your thoughts of it, all right? Should truckers be stopped and tested at the scale house after they get pulled over by DOT? Should they be stopped and tested for reading, writing, and speaking the language?
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
I know some of you might agree with this. I don't know. I'm just a messenger. I honestly don't even know if this is true or not at this one place that this driver says that's going on. But I do think there need to be clarity for these foreign drivers when they come over here and they do the work, which is as sensitive as driving the truck. This ain't putting a roof on somebody's house. This ain't lawn care. This ain't somebody coming and cleaning up. This is trucking. This is sensitive work. This is where it is required to read, write, and speak.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Now, I could probably go as far as to cut back on the speaking part because, yeah, you can read and you can write, but you might have a hard time with speaking the language. But still, though, reading and writing is fundamental. You need to at least know that. Drivers, is this just another way to weed out the foreigners in trucking? Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below.